Hey guys, welcome back to Holistic Homesteading with the Hursts. I'm Megan, and in today's video I am sharing a few things that I do to make my house feel cozy and more of a home. Okay, so this first thing I have been putting off basically since we moved in, and it is fixing the gap underneath our front and back door. So our home was built by the couple that lived in it before, and there's just a lot of little things like gaping holes or spaces in walls that they didn't really fix. So I'm now getting to it, but I bought a weather strip thinking that this would fix my problem, but because none of this is built to code, it didn't work for what I was needing it to. It actually ended up getting stuck. So my little helper here got it out for me, and we just decided to try something else. So this is a floor sweep, I think is what it's called. I don't remember, you guys, but basically you fit it to the size of your door, peel the sticky stuff off the back, and it sticks to your door. And this worked so much better. So it doesn't completely seal the gap. I've got to figure out something for like the little gap that's on the floor, but for now it's a lot less, and hopefully this will keep our air conditioning from leaking outside or our heat in the winter. So this turned out pretty good. Now I just planned on doing the same thing for my back door, but once I got into it and realized how dirty this back door is, I completely went off track and did a bunch of other stuff. So this door used to be a cat door, so you can see it right there, and there's a broken window pane on it, and so really this door just needs to be replaced. We are trying to cut corners and save as much money as possible, so I decided to just kind of touch it up and make it livable until after we get our addition, which hopefully, you guys, will be next year. I'm starting to get pretty tired of living in a one-bedroom cabin as our family continues to grow. So I got some tips from Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone a couple years ago from one of her videos, and she talked about just doing what you can when you're in a season of dislike of your home, or you're just not satisfied with what's going on. And so I've tried to heed that advice and just make sure that what area maybe that I don't like is clean first. So after it's cleaned, then I can look at, is there anything little that I can do to make this space feel just a little bit better while I am waiting on what I can do to make it feel exactly the way I want it, renovations or things like that. So this back door got a little makeover. So I ended up taking down the curtains that were on there. These have been up since we moved into this place, and I didn't like them, but I just hadn't done anything about it until now. So, and I also decided to clean the windows and stain the back door. And I mean, on camera it's really hard to notice a difference, but in person I was like, wow, this just really cleaned it up. So eventually, like I said, we will get a new door, and that will make me super happy. But until then, I'm just working with what I've got. So also, I shared with you guys a few months back that Brian and I had opened up an Airbnb, and you guys, it just did not work out. So we closed it down, and I thankfully decorated our Airbnb very similar to the way I like to decorate my house. So now all the stuff that I didn't want to sell ended up in my house. So these little pieces that were in our Airbnb honestly have made our home feel so much cozier. And I'm so glad that I decided to decorate it very similar to my house. So now that the Airbnb didn't work out, I'm able to spruce up my house and it feels like, you know, everything's new. In my last thrift haul video, I showed you guys these gigantic pillows that I got for I think $2.99 each. And I finally found the pillowcases on Amazon that I liked and bought them. And they came in, so I made sure they fit and then I washed them. And I am stuffing those pillows inside those pillowcases. I've been really kind of wanting to spruce up my bed and do it in a minimalist way, but make it feel really cozy. And so I don't get to show you guys that in this video because it wasn't complete in this video, but this was just one step towards it. So I ended up getting these light blue pillows, and I didn't really know how I wanted to decorate, or not decorate, style my bed. So I'm playing around with it, like rearranging the pillows, seeing what I like. And what I end up doing for this day is not what I end up doing when I'm completed with it. So I actually ended up having a blanket with blue and white stripes put on the bottom of the bed. I had those blue pillows, and then I added one more rectangular pillow, and it really just pulled it all together. But you don't get to see that in this video because I didn't do it in this video. Sorry. I'll show you guys later. So now moving back to the hallway where the back door was, I had to not pursue that until after my daughter woke up because banging on the walls is not a good idea when your 1-year-old is napping. So I am also not somebody that measures or puts markings on the wall to hang stuff up. I just hold it up, see if I like it, put a hole in the wall, and hope for the best. So I'm just using tacks with these, and this is some of the wall decor that I got from the Airbnb, and I love baskets. I've had a basket wall before, but I didn't really want to do like a full-on basket wall again, but I really like this particular basket, and it had a fake plant in it, which is really great for that hallway because this gets no natural light. It's only artificial when the light is on, and so this would go really good. I also found these picture frames. They're wooden picture frames, and they're so cute. They hold 4x6s, and I originally planned on putting those in the kids' room, but I'm still trying to decide on how to arrange the kids' room because we have 3 kids in there. They have a bunk bed, a crib, 2 dressers to hold their clothes, and there's a closet because Brian and I need to put our clothes in there as well. It's just getting super crowded in there, and so I haven't really figured out how I'm going to arrange things in there, and so I thought that these picture frames would go perfectly fine in the hallway, and so until I figured that out in their room, these will go here and we can figure out something else for them. But this was the finished look, and I just thought that this made this wall more inviting as people enter in the back door, which is where most people come in, and just made it more homey. Oh yes, and I added this shelf on the other wall. I've got to figure out what we're going to put inside of it, but until then it's just hanging there. So another thing that I do to make my home feel cozy is cook meals from scratch, typically for supper. And this is just my designated time every day for supper that I slow down and just work on making a really good delicious, nutritious meal for my family. This particular night, we were making sourdough pizza, which is one of my favorites as well as my family's favorites. They love pizza night. And this is a super simple recipe. I will link the blog down in the description box if you want to know specifics. I have done this so much, I don't even really measure anything much anymore. I do a little bit, but basically it's off the texture that I like. And so I've started doing it a little bit more of a runny, wetter texture, especially when I am not allowing the dough to ferment for several hours. So this is what I have been doing, and it works out just fine. This also has way fewer ingredients than even like a pre-made crust at a grocery store. It's just insane. I think there's like 4 ingredients if you don't include spices. It's so easy. And we can put on any toppings that we like. This particular night I had tomatoes, spinach, and then you will see in a little bit that we use cheese, but we shred it off the block. So this is a healthier way of getting your cheese onto your pizza. The ones that are pre-shredded in the stores have anti-caking agents in them and sometimes can be not very healthy for you, so buying it off the block and then just shredding it yourself at home makes it a lot healthier for you. Now you guys, I am feeling hugely pregnant, and in this video I think I'm like 33 weeks in this video, and I feel huge, but I still have a long ways to go. And this apron was one of the first ones that I made. I plan on making another one and, fixing my mistakes with different fabric. But this one is just kind of falling apart because I didn't do all the back stitching and stuff that I should have done. But anyways, it still protects my clothes, and I remembered to put it on this time. So getting started on the pizzas, I take my iron skillet and I rub it down with some coconut oil with my hands, and then I will pop it in the oven to preheat. And you guys, my vacuum cleaner is right behind me because I am terrible about getting it out, using it, and then I forget it and just leave it out. Anyways, moving on. So once those skillets have been preheated, I will pour my dough out into the skillet, and this way just makes it like a crispy outside of the crust but still soft on the inside. And so I try my best to spread it out with a spoon, but it's a little hard because that coconut oil has melted and it's not wanting to stick. So that's really great afterwards, when you're cutting up your pizza or cleaning up, because there's nothing left on there, it's not sticking to it. But it's a little hard sometimes when you're trying to spread out your pizza dough on there. While that is cooking, so it cooks for about 10 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees, I will start getting the rest of my toppings ready. And we love ground beef on our pizza, so I just chop it up, ground it, and I will sometimes put spices in the beef. Sometimes I'll wait until after I put it on my pizza and then put my spices on there. It's honestly, I just play it by ear. But I also canned our pizza sauce, and for my pasta sauce and pizza sauce, I don't put any spices in it when I'm canning it because I want to be able to use it for whatever I might need it, and I don't want it to always only be used for pizza or spaghetti or whatever. I just want to be able to use it. So that is kind of my tip for you. If you are canning tomato sauce, just can the sauce and then you can season it later. And what I'll do for my pizza is put lots of oregano and basil, some garlic and some sea salt on there, and oh my gosh, you guys, this is so good. It's really hard to beat those fresh herbs on there. I mean, technically they're not fresh, they're dried, but still, like, I don't know, it just brings out so much more flavor, and you can season it the way that you like it every single time, and just, you know, keep seasoning it until it's to your desired taste. So I will put my toppings on there, and then I will put cheese. Now I decided not to put the tomatoes and spinach on one of the pizzas because the kids don't really prefer that. I don't know why. I think it tastes amazing. Me and my husband do, so we put spinach and tomatoes on ours, and then I just put some gigantic pepperonis. They're uncured pepperonis onto our pizza on both of them, and I will pop it back into the oven to let the toppings cook. So normally I will put them in at the same temperature as I cooked the crust in, but today I decided to put them in on broil and let them cook for like 10 minutes, and I loved the result of that. It just like cooked the toppings more and kind of made them crunchy. I don't know, it turned out so good. I was very happy with the way that that turned out. So this is another day, and this is the last thing that I'm doing to kind of complete this video, but that is hanging up little hangers for our violins. So me and my kids recently got violins. My kids are taking violin lessons, and I am learning to play by ear, kind of just learning alongside the kids, and it's so much fun. But instead of putting their violins back in their cases, I thought, why not hang them up on the wall? It's art, it is easy access for my kids to grab their violin and practice, and it's also a good reminder to practice because it's right there in their face. And so it just hit all the marks that I was really looking for. So I love how this turned out. And also those bubbles right there are made for holding things, water, and I originally bought them to get betta fish, but they were too small. I didn't want to send them back, so I used them as plant propagation bubbles, and they turned out really good. So I'll link the stuff down below in the description box if you're interested in getting your own. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like videos on homesteading, homemaking, and a holistic lifestyle, then be sure to hit subscribe for more videos in the future, and I will see you guys later. Bye!